Are you worried that you're needy or clingy in a relationship? I used to be an incredibly needy and clingy person, and then I embraced these 10 lessons that helped me to change the game and to give up on my neediness and my clinginess. I'm going to share with you those 10 powerful things that I implemented into my own life. Then I'm going to take you through at the end a very powerful exercise that once you do this exercise at the end of the video, you're going to change the game and you're going to immediately give up on your clinginess and your neediness. I'm here in Phuket with my friend Gigi, who's going to take us to Nui Beach, one of the most beautiful beaches in Phuket. So we're going to record this video as we move through Phuket and show you some of the beautiful sights. Okay, so first of all, let's answer the question, why do people become clingy and needy in the first place? Well, I can answer this question because I used to be a very clingy and very needy person. And when I think back to that experience, I think of all of the pain I went through. There was one time in particular 10 years ago where I had a girlfriend who I thought was just so beautiful, and she was really beautiful and still is, but her beauty is what made me think that I didn't really deserve to be with her. So I felt really insecure about it. I always wanted her attention. I'd always sit by the phone and wait for her text messages. Ultimately, I was just a very needy person during that time. And this wasn't the only time. There's been many times in my life, but that's the time I can remember really clearly. And if I break it down and I compare what I'm going through now to what life was like back then, there are 3 core elements that I think are pretty universal around needy people. First is that I was incredibly insecure. So I didn't have this internal confidence at all about myself. The second, I was seeking the approval of others. So always my confidence didn't come from within, came from what I thought other people thought about me. And that's where I needed my approval. So I needed that tick of approval from them. And then the third thing is that I was constantly worrying what people thought about me. So ultimately, what was going on here was that I developed my conception of self. This idea of who I am, for me, always came from how I thought other people thought about me constantly, not just in relationships, within everything. Whether it was my projects, I used to be an academic and I was pursuing a PhD, and I just worried so much what all the professors thought about me. My career, I was a management consultant. I cared so much what my boss thought about me. I was constantly living my life where I was giving my power to all of these people around me in how I thought they saw me, rather than developing that internal sense of self, this concept of who I am that came just from me. So where are we going now?
We're gonna go to Nui Beach. It's a secret beach in Phuket.
You're taking me to a secret beach. I'm really excited because Phuket is known for being such a beautiful place. So that should be really wonderful. And what can we expect when we get there?
I don't know. It's the first time for you and me. Yeah.
This should be very exciting. We're on a very crazy, bumpy road, but we're slowly making our way to the top. Now, the first lesson in life I had to fully embrace was that I have to take responsibility for everything that happens in life. When it comes to the problems we face, the reality is that usually there's something that's happened in our past that causes what we're experiencing today. So if you're an insecure person and you're struggling with being needy and clingy, then you may well get this from your upbringing in some way, where the insecurities created some sort of patterns in you, some sort of traumatic events, and that's kind of manifesting itself today in how you approach relationships. The problems we face in life probably come from outside ourselves, from external events, from programming. But if we start to blame other things outside ourselves, what we're doing is we're giving away our power, and we're feeding that pattern of us getting our self-image from things that happen outside us, from other people around us. So the number one thing to get rid of neediness and clinginess is you have to take responsibility for everything that's happening in your life. It doesn't matter if it's caused by something outside yourself. You must take responsibility for that experience right now. So the second point is to just chill out a bit. So you're taking responsibility. You're watching this video. You've actually decided that clinginess and neediness is something to let go of. That is absolutely incredible. You should be congratulated for making this very powerful decision. But once you want to get rid of your neediness and clinginess, it's very tempting to try to defeat it immediately. When you start to act in clingy and needy ways, you become your own worst enemy because you get really angry with yourself. So it's really important that you actually take time out to just chill out and not take yourself so seriously, because we're going to get there. Once we get to the 10th point, we need to have fun along the way.
Come on, Justin, let's go. The Nui beach is down there.
Now this brings me to the next point, which is that you need to know your self-worth. So let me ask you a question. Do you know how valuable you really are? So I think a lot of people who are clingy and needy, when you try to answer this question, you sort of come up blank. You're like, I don't really know my own value. I don't know why I even matter. So if you feel like you're a bit confused about this, then this is something that you just have to absolutely embrace. You are an incredibly creative person by virtue of being human. Ever since we're born with the most incredible creative potential. It's all embedded in our DNA. So the fact that we can even learn how to walk, learn how to speak, all of these things come naturally to us. We naturally get through challenges in life. We've got this deeply embedded within us. And the only things that take that away from us are our educational conditioning that make us believe that we're limited. It makes us believe that we're not valuable, but we are valuable simply by virtue of being human. Now, if you need any help to actually embrace this belief, join IdeaPod's email list. There's a link in the description below. So I send out these emails 2 to 3 times per week, and I always cover different topics, but it always comes back to this principle about how special we are simply for being human beings because of the inherent creativity that we've got. All right, the 4th point, as GG goes ahead of me on the trail, is that you need to develop your self-image on your own. So it's really tempting to ask friends what they think about you, what your talents are, what makes you unique, and to really depend on people around you for your self-image. But if you want to get over this clinginess and neediness, we need to snap that dependence on developing our self-image through the eyes of other people. So it is absolutely crucial that you know who you are by getting on a path to understanding yourself completely on your own, where you commit to really developing that self-understanding. So in my own case, I was really fortunate to meet the shaman Huda Iyande in New York City in 2014. He shared a set of teachings with me that helped me to be on this path, and it provided me with a whole lot of inspiration for me to get to know myself on my own. But I was really benefited from these teachings, and he's ended up putting them together in the out-of-the-box online workshop. It's a 16-week program, and when you go on this program, you get access to this process, a series of video lessons, written lessons, exercises, challenges, self-exploration quests, and everything is about you figuring out who you are on your own. And what you end up doing is you develop this self-image by the end of it that you completely own, you completely know. It's like a very deep understanding of who you are. And when you've got that deep understanding of who you really are, you're completely unbreakable in life. You don't need anyone else's image of who you are to feed your ego in any way. Instead, you've got a very healthy ego. It's not about defeating your ego. It's about developing this understanding of self, being proud of who you are, committing to yourself. It's just an absolutely wonderful way to live life. There's a link in the description below. Make sure you read about Out of the Box. It's worth being aware of who this shaman is. I've been exposed to so many different teachers in my lifetime. I've pursued pretty much everything in the personal development industry. I think that Huda Iyande is, he's more than top shelf. I think that he is the most profound teacher I've come across, simply because he doesn't want to be a profound teacher. He brings it all back to you. All he's done is design a process where you get to know yourself, and it's completely about you. I gotta say, something I like about Gigi is that if you look at her coming down the trail, you'll notice that she's very present, very in the moment, and just noticing the different things around her, picking things off trees, seeing what's going on. And it's just nice to be around people who are very different to you. In my own case, I probably get a little bit focused on the video and lose sense of these incredible surroundings we're in. So I hope you can appreciate the surroundings while I'm speaking. Why did you stop just then?
Look at my hand. I got some special fruit. Maybe it's called baby grape. Yeah, it's a purple color. It's beautiful.
Fifth point is that relationships are incredibly important. So I've spent the first half speaking about we need to build up our own self-image, but we live in societies, we get the most out of ourselves when we're in relationships, and the reason we're feeling needy and clingy is because we actually want to be with other people and have intimate relationships. So the best relationships are the ones where we support each other's self-image. So we need to respect each other to be on this journey of growth, to get to know ourselves at a deep and profound level, give each other space to do that, but then respect and love the other person for the self-image that they're cultivating. The sixth point is that all relationships are comrade relationships. So let me explain what this means. When we can support each other's self-image, support each other's quest for personal growth, then we can engage in what's known as vertical versus horizontal relationships. Relationships that are vertical are where one person tries to overpower the other. Relationships that are horizontal are where two people are supporting each other in their quest for growth. So we need to always have comrade relationships. We're comrades in life. We're helping each other. We're seeing the best in each other. So I'm here with Gigi and I'm just admiring her adventure spirit. She's so curious. She loves getting off track. I love that about myself as well. So we're perfect adventure buddies for something like this. And it's just absolutely amazing. So for me, this is an example of a relationship where I think we're supporting each other to get the most out of each other. It's a simple example, but we need to extend that into all of our relationships. So the seventh point is that you need to give your partner the freedom to be a hero. I learned about something called the hero instinct from the relationship psychologist James Bauer. Once I read about this, it was a game changer in how I understand relationships. James Bauer, he actually focuses more on women who are struggling with men in relationships, and he says that the woman who can help her man feel like a hero in life is the one who's going to attract her partner. And I thought really deeply about it, and there's a free video training, game changer, link in the description below, totally worth checking out. But I thought a lot about the hero instinct, and I realized that it applies as much to men as it does to women. So we're all seeking to be a hero in life. We're on a hero's journey. We're seeking to overcome our challenges. When we can support each other in being heroes and giving each other the freedom and the space to be heroes, those are the relationships that can breathe. So it's all about not trying to control other people's behaviors and what you think they should do, but giving them the freedom to be creative, to be instinctual, to do what they need to do in life, but then coming together in the shared pursuit of supporting each other, being a hero in life. I'm going to share the eighth point in just a moment, but first, we've realized that we've gotten ourselves into a very unusual part of Phuket, and it's going to be very difficult to get back up these roads, but we're going to have to give it a shot and see if we can get this scooter up the hills.
I will never forget this.
Never forget the trip, right?
Yeah. On the bike.
Is that not good? Okay, so it'll have the power to get up, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Alright guys, we are on the adventure of a lifetime getting up. It is so much more difficult than I think either of us expected, but it brings me to the eighth point, which is that it's really important to let go of people in your life who don't support the hero in you, who don't want you to cultivate your own self-image. So these are the narcissists out there who focus on themselves, the fake people, the people who are into superficial things, the people who constantly judge you when ultimately you're just doing the best you can. Try to live a good life and hopefully try to help people around you. When you're doing these things, it's really important to set your boundaries and start to let people go. And I feel that way because I've got an adventure buddy here And every step of the journey, getting up, Gigi is cheering me on, cheering herself on. We're doing it together. We're pushing the bike sometimes, and we're going to get there.
Yeah.
We hope. So the 9th point is that you need to stop worrying what people think of you. So if you're doing all of these other things, you're living the best life you possibly can, you're developing your self-knowledge, you're seeking to bring the hero out in yourself, and you're bringing the hero out in people around you, you're treating people as comrades where you're helping each other advance in life, then you're doing enough. If you're doing the best you can, it literally doesn't matter anymore what people think of you. Your only task is to live the best life you possibly can while treating people with respect. If you're already doing that and people are still judging you, still thinking different things, and those thoughts are sort of bringing you down a bit, you've just got to stop it. You've got to find a way to embed this principle in your mind. Never again will you ever worry what someone thinks of you, because when you're worrying about what people think of you, you're cultivating the neediness and the clinginess deep inside. So embed that principle and it's all going to start to change. All right, the 10th point is that you need to prioritize the relationship you've got with yourself as the most important relationship in your life. So when you're on this path to self-knowledge, you get to know yourself at a very profound level, but it takes time. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment to who you are, to your values, understanding the values, so many different aspects of it. And ultimately, if you can have a relationship with yourself where you're fully committed to yourself, you're fully committed to living the best life you can, to living by your values, to living with purpose and passion. When you can commit to yourself to do that, you're in a relationship with yourself. It's a relationship of commitment and you're treating yourself with a lot of respect. So when you treat yourself in that way, your relationships in life start to mirror the relationship you have with yourself. I learned that from the shaman Huda Yande in our free masterclass on love and intimacy. Also link in the description below. Incredible deep dive exploration of relationships, very deep, very meaningful masterclass. And it's all about the relationship you have with yourself being mirrored in the relationships with others. Those are the 10 key principles, but now I'm going to share with you a very powerful exercise that you can do to really take everything I've shared in this video and fully implement it into your life right now. All right guys, thanks for sticking with me this far into the video. We're now going to do the very powerful exercise to finally connect with that neediness and clinginess inside ourselves and start to let go of it. I learned this exercise from the shaman Huda Yande from the Out of the Box online workshop, and I've adapted it specifically for neediness and clinginess. What you do is you look in a mirror or you think about yourself and then you start speaking to yourself. So you say, you are. When you look into the mirror, so you're looking at yourself, you are, and then tell yourself how extraordinarily needy and clingy you are, and then start getting angry at yourself for being so needy and clingy. Now, here's what we're doing. Deep inside us, we've got this archetype of being needy and clingy. If we continually try to fight against it, we just make it stronger. We actually want to give a bit of space to it, give a bit of life to the neediness and clinginess inside us so that it starts to loosen. And then if you embrace the 10 powerful principles I've gone through in this video, while you also embrace and you aggressively extend the neediness inside you, it'll all start to shift and just over time it will go away. So by looking in the mirror, you fully embody the needy and the clingy person and you tell yourself how needy you are. You are so terribly needy. You're ruining all of your relationships. You're insecure. You are this, you are that. But go as deep as you can and you will probably end up almost laughing at how absurd the whole thing is. This is part one. We're going to get into part two in just a moment, but right now we're going to make the screen go black. So it's black. You can now see your eyes right now, probably in the reflection. So just for the next 30 seconds, there's a countdown timer. Tell yourself how incredibly needy and clingy you are. Okay, amazing work. You're probably finding it a little bit humorous, perhaps a little bit sad, but these emotions are really good because you're starting to free up that clinginess and neediness inside you. Okay, now part B of this exercise is to go in the description below and click on the self-healing meditation. It's a free guided meditation by Hure Yande. When you combine part A, about looking in the mirror and embodying clinginess and neediness, with this free 20-minute guided meditation, you'll start to heal yourself and connect with yourself in a much more powerful way. You'll see that so many different transformations start to happen in your life. Please do like the video if you like it, and leave me a comment below. I'd love to know whether you found these teachings useful, whether you've got anything else to share. Please do hit me up in the comments. I'd like to start a conversation with you. Subscribe to see more videos, and see you next time.